Starting point for becoming a conscious creator. The journey of exploration into our creativity, in holding our creativity sacred, looked to access an understanding that answered the question, is there a way to view creation that no matter what a person believes, they will have some type of experience of that belief, such that they can point to that experience as the proof of what they believe is true, and its corollary question which asks, was there a way to view creation that would support such a personal and subjective experience as true? That is, that each individual's experience and perception is true and can be integrated into an overall understanding of creation. In looking at all the information which came to my attention and the experiences in working with individuals, the answer to this question is that we are creators. We cannot not create. The human being is a marvelous creativity machine. It allows us to take the energy we sense to create thoughts from that energy and transform or convert that thought and energy we experience into actions in the world. The human being is designed to create automatically. We create both our experiences and the reality of those experiences, and creation is magical enough to mold itself to give us those experiences. When it comes to discovering and exploring how we create our experiences and create our reality, both inside and out, we must become very intimate with ourselves to fully understand ourselves, both as a consciousness and as a body within physical creation. It is both a simultaneous inward and outward journey. We are led to external experiences, but will not reap the fruits available if we have not done the necessary internal work up to that point. Similarly, if we do the extensive internal work but don't do the external work, we will miss the external opportunities being offered. The external work is about understanding the chain of events that brought one to the particular place one is at in their life. This is about pulling the string on the chain of events to see how we got to where we are now. If we do not understand in some way how we got to where we are, we will never have the possibility of changing what we are experiencing externally. Similarly, the internal work is about pulling the string on how and why we made the decisions and choices we make. It is about looking at why we choose the way we do over other possible choices we may have. More importantly, did we have other options and possibilities, or were we restricted with no other options? In understanding how and why we chose the way we did, we can begin to see how we are creating our experiences to become a conscious creator. How creation works to help understand how we create both our experiences and the reality of our experiences is not discussed here, but is addressed in the related Release Your Unlimited Creativity web pages and YouTube recordings. However, in essence, through the oneness of creation and all arising out of the same essence of creation, we call to ourselves the experiences we desire and experience. Whether we realize it or not, at some level of our being, we chose the experiences we have. Now, whether we like the experiences we have after we brought them into our life is another question. What is discussed here is the perspective and approach which is offered as a starting point one can use in the direction to take to move into becoming a conscious creator and move towards effectively creating experiences which serve us. To become a conscious creator, we need to change both our perception about ourselves and who and what we think we are and what we think and believe. We need to adopt a set of beliefs that empower us to begin a journey to both understand and utilize the creative ability and creative power available to us through our creative imagination and the passion within our heart. Since we each have an incredibly unique perception and all of our experiences are subjective, the journey we take will be a solo journey. We can learn from the experiences of others, but we each will need to do our own experiments and determine what serves and doesn't serve us. What needs to be understood is we can feel what is true for us and what is not true for us. It is recommended the first thing that one does is to discern their personal truth and what is true for them and serves them. What serves is what allows one to feel internally satisfied with life and a feeling of expansion into life and the fullness of our being. To move to become a conscious creator, it is necessary to accept our life, who we are, and the conditions in which we find ourselves as they are. This does not mean we look to endure them, but look to change them. Accepting is about not looking to blame anyone or anything for its cause, no matter how pleasant or unpleasant and painful life may be, and how widespread the troubles we face. The reason for this is that we need to avoid stepping into a victim consciousness. We have to move away from blaming anyone or anything. We do not always know the real situation as to why things are the way they are. We think we do, but if we look carefully, we will realize we do not have all the information. In blaming anyone in this unawareness, we only give away our creative power and creative ability. In particular, we give away our power to change what we experience. When we blame, we step into the role of victim. It needs to be understood and remembered. People in our life are doing the best they know how. If they truly understood, they would be acting differently. They too, like each of us, are only a product of their conditioning and life experiences. The life we now live is a result of the programming and conditioning we have had in life and not a result of who we are at the essence of our being. To move to a conscious creator requires us to repudiate almost everything we've been told and believe about the past, who and what we are, and how creation works. Although our mind may not understand, all that we experience is simply caused by a lack of awareness as to how creation actually works. Lack of awareness in itself is not an insurmountable issue. Rather, it's one of the primary ways we create our experiences in physical creation. It is necessary to fully accept the fact that our current mind, what we think and believe, and how we choose to respond to the conditions we experience is responsible for creating the world we perceive and experience. What we experience is very real and can be quite painful, but we are unaware of how we are creating or created what we experience. This is not because we are somehow unable to consciously create, or are somehow inadequate or incapable of creating something different, or we are simply a puppet on a string. Lack of awareness of how we create what we experience and how we respond to what we experience is simply part of the human experience in physical creation. What we need to remember is that every moment, whatever it is we are experiencing, we have a choice in how we choose to view and how to respond to what is happening. We are fully capable of creating a life which better serves us and is a life worth living. We only need to start from where we are in this moment. We need to start by becoming aware of the choice we make in each moment. Do we choose based on our past, or do we think for a moment before choosing and choose what best serves the deepest aspect of our being as we understand them to be in this moment? The recommended path forward is to discern our personal truth and live our life based on that truth. We can feel what serves and doesn't serve us. Here again, we need to recognize how unique our perceptions are and the subjectivity of our experiences. In this uniqueness, our paths can be expected to be different from others, and we will need to learn to dance with the external world. How different, we do not know until we live our truth to its fullness. If we are unsure of how to respond, we can always ask our intuition for guidance. As we choose and make decisions based on our truth and what is true for us, we will be led to the information and understanding that we need to live a more satisfying life. We then may find we need to generate the courage to act on what we know. What we choose to create is our choice. We have a free will. It is suggested we each remember to hold our creativity sacred and look to see where we do not have freedom to choose and why we do not have that freedom. My recommendation is one of three options that can be converged into one if one chooses. The first option is whatever you choose to create, choose to do so consciously in the full exercise of your free will. If you are unsure how to choose, consult your intuition and follow its guidance. The second option is that you calibrate your internal compass based on the creative passion found in your heart. Then learn to navigate from your own heart by having your heart lead your life and use your mind to figure out how to make it happen. The third option is to look to create a life worth living. A life worth living is a life such that if you died and found out eternity is exactly what you are doing now, your life is so sufficiently rich and fulfilling in opportunities and possibilities and adventures and internally satisfying that you could spend eternity enjoying yourself exploring all that is available to you. Whatever you choose, choose wisely by choosing what serves your truth and reason for incarnating.